G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. We are here on the brand new expansion for Age of Empires 4. This is the Sultan's Ascend. Today we've got a matchup for you with a variant civilization and the Japanese, one of the headline civilizations in the expansion pack. Let's introduce our players today. Spawning in on the south side of the map in the color blue, playing as the Japanese, it's Vortex. And in the north of the map in the color yellow, playing as the Ayyubids, we've got Zverks. I hope I've pronounced that correctly. Now, the Ayyubids are the Abbasid dynasty variant civilization, and we'll worry about that a little bit later because we've got ourselves something exciting that is happening right now. This is Vortex, one of the best players in the world, currently ranked #1 on the ladder, and he's going for Dark Age Stone. Have a look at this. He's got 5 villages on stone early on in this game. Now, you all know what this is going to be about, and if you don't, well, you must be new to the channel, new to Age of Empires 4, so let's talk a little bit about it. The Japanese have got access to a special upgrade in the town center called the Daimyo Mena. The Daimyo Mena increases the amount of Benemen that you have access to, which is a special Japanese unit that's going to empower all other units around it that are similar to it. As an example, a Beneman cavalry unit will increase the damage of cavalry around it. So, it looks like he's going to be going for that in the Dark Age. And I'm curious because this doesn't really provide any economic benefit initially. It's only once the farms are up that this matters. Let's take a look at the upgrade itself. So it costs 300 stone, provides a free villager and increases your Beneman cap by 1. It also increases the amount of health that you've got on the town center, an additional arrow slit, and adds an aura which enhances villager harvest rate from farms by 25%. So that last one's important to note because it's villager harvest rate from farms. It's not cheap though, which makes me think, why exactly are we going for it here? Is he just looking to get the stone out of the way? Wait. Oh, he's still collecting the stone. Look at this. He's going to age up without collecting any gold. So what he's doing, oh, this is beautiful. I can't believe we're getting to see this right now. Vortex. Oh my gosh. How amazing we get to witness this. I had no idea we were coming into this today. What a beautiful performance. So for anybody wondering what's happening here, the Japanese have a special unique bonus that whenever they drop off any of their stone, they'll drop off 20% of the stone in gold as well. So that's on top of it. You drop off 10 stone, you get yourself 2 gold. And the same happens with gold. If you gather up 10 gold, you'll get yourself 2 stone. Vortex has already gone for that early Daimyo Mena. We can see it coming straight through right now. Now, there's not going to be an immediate benefit to this, other than having a cool looking town center. But what's interesting to note is he's almost at 200 gold right here, despite just being on stone for the entire Dark Age. And this is quite beautiful to see because there's been mixed reports at the top level, I'll say that much, mixed opinions about stone in the Dark Age. Some of you might be cluing on to what I'm referring to, some of you might not, and that's okay. I'm not going to say anything further about it. But we've got ourselves an age up coming through at the 3-minute 25 mark with the Kura Storehouse. And I know we're focusing a lot here on Vortex, but the reality is we've got ourselves something very unique, something very new with the Japanese. And this is great to see because this civilization has been a little bit of a tough cookie to solve. People aren't sure exactly how to play it, and I'm curious to see how Vortex pans out today with that Kura Storehouse coming down. Not rushing it really, only 4 villages on the age up. But speaking of age ups on the other side of the map, our yellow Ayyubid player looks to be aging up very, very soon, and it is going to be the Trade Wing Bazaar. No real surprise there, definitely considered to be the best Ayyubid age up by far. Let's have a look what roles he's got access to. Have a look at that for you. Villages, he starts off, gets 2 free villages. Well, I mean, you got to pay 125 gold for him, but they come out of thin air. And then he's got traders, and you can see that this is being scouted out by Vortex. Vortex is going to see absolutely everything, and he spots the traders straight away. He says, okay, you got traders, wonderful. Let's see if we can deal with them now. And I wouldn't be surprised to see him drop down a stable upon age up, just to try and deal with those traders, but I guess maybe there's other ways that you can deal with them. You've got to remember that there's an active way that you can deal with them, and then there's a passive way that you can deal with them. A passive way to deal with them would be adding in an additional town center. And as you can see with Vortex, he's got 364 stone sitting in the bank right now. It's an impressive amount of stone. In fact, just enough to train or to construct that additional town center. But let's check in with his opponent. Just before the age up comes through, it looks like Wheelbarrow coming through here for him. And the focus is definitely going to be on Castle Age. We can see that with the amount of villagers he's got here, he seems intent on heading towards that Castle Age. Could also look for a couple more traders if he so desired. But Vortex now with the age up coming through. We see the farm being thrown down. Bit of an, I'd say a bit of an awkward spot, but not really. I mean, this is a pretty safe part of your base towards the back like this, because you've got to remember that when it comes to the Kura storehouse, you're always spawning your first farm in that 9 o'clock position, and then it will slowly fill in farms around that in a clockwise manner. But have a look at this. Speaking of manners, we've got a town center about to come down. 5 minutes 30. Not a bad little timing here for him. Plenty of villagers out on the front. This is a great TC. It's going to secure up the gold for him. One of the most important resources on a map like this is going to be gold in your base. And that's simply because when you come to a spawn on a map like this, you don't have anywhere else to go. There's nothing behind your base. Everything, well, it's just out of bounds. And it means that your enemy's got the ability to very easily come around and deny you gold from these positions. Whereas if you had a gold behind you, well, it would be a lot more difficult to do. And that's why going for the second TC here on this gold vein just makes a whole bunch of sense. Now, I'm curious to see what direction Vortex looks to take this game. His opponent will be going the Castle Age. We can see he's got plenty of those resources still in the bank, and he's got a number of different options that he can look to age up with here. I would suspect he probably looks to go into Culture Wing Logistics to get himself out 3 Dervish. That's going to mean that he'll be able to take relics on the map, and that means once he's got the relics in, he'll be able to capture the sacred sites relatively easily. There's a sneaky little trick. Oh, have a look at this. Scout goes down. Bit of a mistake early on as that golden age now comes through for the Ayyubid player. So one of the things that you can do if you're playing a little bit more greedy, and I think if there's a civilization that can get away with it, it's going to be the Ayyubids, and that's that you can take the sacred sites first. You take the sacred sites first and then bring in the relics. That way, you front load a lot of the gold that you're receiving. You're getting 100 gold for each of these sacred sites that's trickling in every minute, so that's 300 gold. Then you just pick up the relic that's next to it and walk on back. Makes a lot of sense, but we'll have to see whether he looks to apply that. Town center now working overtime here. We see the 3 farms are up, and Vortex realistically, oh, here you go. All right, I was wondering what direction he was going to go, and I think we've got our answer. We see now upgrades on the way through. He's going to be picking up, is this the first? This is the second level of the unique Japanese wheelbarrow. He's picking it up from the farmhouse, which is the unique Japanese house and mill. I know that you might think with a name like farmhouse that it is a farm and a house. It's not. It's a mill and a house. But you can see there was a very specific reason why they couldn't call it a mill house. Because, well, not everything is coming up Millhouse. But let's check in now with his Ayyubid opponent and see how he's doing. With the scout being taken out, he's left in the dark about what his opponent is up to, and naturally wants to make sure his gold is being defended, or at least he's able to retreat if it's if there's any issues. So he's going to throw down that outpost. Definitely makes sense here. We've got the age up coming through. Let's have a look and see what it is. Oh, he's going to switch it up here. He's going to be going for military wing reinforcement. So upon completion, cavalry units gain the ability to construct siege weapons. The House of Wisdom produces 3 Desert Raiders every 2 minutes for the rest of the game. Nice little age up right there. I definitely felt like this was a lot stronger in Imperial Age. Objectively, it is. You get more units, but it kind of made sense to me to have it in Imperial Age. Just because that way it's basically you're getting free production, you're getting free resources. It's a really nice upgrade. All right, well, let's check in with Vortex and see how he's doing. Doesn't look like he is intent on going Castle Age at this time. Instead, going to be looking to stay in Feudal Age, and now we start to see, I would call them bad boys, and it's important that you understand that when I use that term, I'm not using it in a specific way, in a gender way. Look at these bad boys right here. When I say look at these bad boys right here, I'm not calling the chocolate chips on my table bad boys. I'm just like, check out these chocolate chips. But anyway, I move on. I digress. These are Onabagatia, also known as Onabagati, because they are so damn quick. Look at them go. And they are women soldiers. And they absolutely destroy. These things attack so fast. These girls attack so fast. They are crazy. And they're also incredibly fast. 1.5 movement speed. But age up comes through now for the Ayyubid opponent. What direction does he look to go? I think in this situation, one of the main things you need to be careful of is the infantry from the Japanese. They're notorious for their infantry in Age of Empires 4. Really, really strong. So getting out a good bit of cavalry early on would be a great assistance. And now you can see the Bagatia's coming through. Springing in placement, gonna throw it down. So get on out of here. First unit falls off the game. 9 minutes and 50 seconds through. Back towards That north side, we see a second one has gone down. It's going to be the traders. They're slowly but steadily getting taken out. Desert Raider's going to be coming in here with their melee attacks. Desert Raider, an incredible unit. A really difficult to deal with unit. A unit that has the ability to kill cavalry quickly because of its bonus damage against cavalry. It also has melee damage, so it does it very well against horsemen. Then there's the Camel Lancer, which of course is just a lancer, but it's a camel. Not much more information needed about that one. Vortex now, he's run out on the berries. Villagers going to be moving into the back of the base. It looks like they're heading over onto wood, and we can see that he's got a large farming economy beginning to build here. Keep in mind, he's not adding farms around this south side of the town center, just because the Kura storehouse will naturally fill these ones in as it goes every 45 seconds. You can see it's still coming through, another 18 seconds until the next rice field is planted. But I suspect he's probably going to be looking to put down a couple on the back. Maybe even, see, I'd be tempted to say maybe even delete the barracks, but you probably don't want to do it. You got plenty of space in your base. There's not a big issue. You got lots of space for those farms out here. And what level has he gone for the Daimyo Manor? It looks like it's only going to be level 1 on the front here, avoiding going into that upgraded option. You can see that he's done the same thing on the back town center, so only 25% bonus coming out for him here. I wouldn't be surprised to see if he looks to go into the Daimyo Palace, which is going to increase his gather rate on these farms by an additional 25%. So it goes from 25 up to 50%. And then it starts to get ludicrous because, remember, you're in the feudal age here. You're not in the castle age, and you've got a massive bonus, a bonus bigger than what imperial age economies get. But now these samurai on the front looking to defend. A couple of ghulams coming out here. These guys do very well up against the samurais. And now at the same time, they're doing skirmishes, trying their best to dish out some damage. Whew. Unfortunately, the town center's got some pretty decent range on it because that is the main town center. Do we see that upgrade on the way? Just not yet. Still another 200 stone or so away. Big palisade wall coming in though. He's done a wonderful job in securing this top side, but still we see units behind enemy lines. And now that push is really starting to come to shove for the Ayyubids here. A wonderful castle age timing here. I'll be curious to see whether he goes into the Sultan of the... Sorry, the... Let me get my handbook out here. Tower of the Sultan. A unique Abbasid, Ayyubid rather, siege unit. Keep an eye out for it. It's going to be a Manjanik though instead. Looking to go into the unique Mangonel. Aesthetically it looks the same. That's until the fire comes out. Then you got a different problem. But slowly and steadily, Vortex works towards Castle Age. I don't even think he's going to Castle Age. I think he might just be staying in the Feudal Age. This is looking impressive though from him. And now we start to see that upgrade coming through. It's going to be on the main town center that he looks for it. Keep in mind, I always like to prioritize it on my second TC, just because the way I justify it is this one's a little bit further forward. It's got less health or less base health, and so naturally it makes sense to get that upgrade on that town center. But when you're doing it for an economic purpose like this, then naturally it just makes sense for you to have the upgrade come through on it. Upgrade, though, here, and it looks like Floating Gate's going to be coming in. He is going for Castle Age. This timing could be terrible, though. You can see the defense from Vortex. It's not a lot of units here. He's got about the same amount as his opponent, but keep in mind he's got cavalry out, so that makes a significant difference. Manjanik here, providing a little bit of cover fire. Additional barracks going to be coming up. He's trying to hit that battering ram. And now Vortex looking for a solid defense here. Villagers are in the TC, ready to get their torches out if need be. Another villager moving out towards stone. Mangonel shot comes in a little bit wide. We enter into the cinematic mode as it's time to get down to business. The age up comes through. Watch the Manjanik on the back. He's firing again, and Vortex falls back away from that frontal position. We hear that. Was that a Springald? I thought I heard a Springald. Villager's going to be going down here. You can see the Ghulams chasing them away. And now that infantry from Vortex defending up against the cavalry, the Manjanik once again. But the villagers come out of the town center, focusing down the Manjanik in two volleys. It goes down. And the Bannerman, together with the Samurais, look to clean up this front line completely. A couple of spearmen are in there, and it's just an absolute destruction right now from our Japanese defender in this game. Let's bring back in that UI and have a look at the difference in economies between these two. You can see that our Ayyubid player in the north has had the ability to call in extra villagers throughout this game, but yet still is behind 13 villagers because of that early 2TC from Vortex. Perhaps that's one of the ways that he looks to deal with this wing. A lot of people at the pro level point to the age up, that being the trade wing, that being the traders, as overpowered, as broken, as needing a change, just being way too strong. And look, I think it definitely needs a change, I'll say that much. I definitely think it's too strong. Sometimes you can get some good rolls and bad rolls, but there are ways that you can mitigate it. As an example, if you're playing 1TC versus 1TC and your opponent's got the House of Wisdom and they've gone for the Trade Wing Bazaar option, well, it's going to put you in a bit of a tough spot because you're going to be outscaled very, very quickly. Whereas if you go for the second TC, all you really need to do is survive. If you're able to survive, then you should be able to keep up with them on the economy. And eventually, depending on RNG, you should be able to overtake them. That's what we see happening this game. Let's check in there with our Ayyubid. Oh, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. All right, I'm good. Let's check in now. Oh, gosh. No, I'm not still good. Hold on. Give me a second here. All right, we're good. There we go. Now we're good. Jeez. You would have thought I just woke up, but it's 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Yep. Well, that's what having a newborn will do to you, mate. You gotta sleep sometimes. You gotta sleep. Anyway, we'll take note of the fact that he's picked up 3 relics already. 2 are on the way in. So he's gonna have 5 relics here up against Vortex. Nice little raid attempt from him. Veterancy on these spearmen. Have a look at this in the back of the base. It looks like he's gonna get a full surround. The villagers aren't gonna let this unit go anywhere. And he cleans up that raid completely. And now with the floating gate. Where does he go with the floating gate? I haven't even realized. I haven't even looked at the Yoroshiros. I'm assuming he puts them in the barracks. No, not going to go in the barracks. Did he put them in the forge? Not in the forge. Are they in the town centers? Oh, they're in the town centers. He's gone for the... Oh, he put them both in TCs. Interesting style. See, my theory was that Yoroshiro wouldn't make sense in the town center. But I guess he's making it work. Because... the way that Yoroshiro works is it's a boost that you get every 4 minutes. And by putting them in the town center, you're acknowledging that, hey, this boost isn't going to be around forever. But if you're able to take immediate value from that being a villager lead, then arguably it could be decent. I mean, how much does it work out? Let's do the math right here. A Yoroshiro reduces the villager training time by 4 seconds. So from 20 down to 16. So let's just call it 5 and 4, or let's go 3 and 4 instead. So every minute, you're training 3 villagers without it, 4 villagers with it. So after 10 minutes, you've trained 30 vills, where your opponent has trained 40 vills. And that's after 10 minutes. Now in this situation, you've got 2, but we're just going to count it off the 1. So 10 villagers at that 10-minute mark would give you the equivalent of 400 resources per minute. That's actually pretty significant when you think about it, comparing it to a Yoroshiro that's, say, in a forge, which gives you 75 resources per minute. So perhaps Vortex is definitely on the right path with that idea. Get the early Yoroshiro in, look to try and take advantage of that power spike immediately, and work towards that villager lead. But now, the push out going to happen here. Plenty of infantry. The defense coming in from the Ayyubid player. A lot of spears, a lot of samurai. Dervish looking to heal on the back line. You can see they're got their AoE ready, and now a couple of units break off from Vortex and head towards the wood line. At the same time, reinforcements going to get picked up over towards that left side of your screen. Plenty of Onabagation here running through. He's got the triple infantry mix. Spears, samurai, and the Onabagation all chasing down those units at the same time towards the middle. All the reinforcements are getting forced back. Remember that on top of this, you're going to have reinforcements coming in from the Ayyubid player, looking to try and take out this army, but this is a large amount of units, and now in the back of the base, you can see that the samurai together with... He's got the whole fleet are here. Every single unit he's got of that infantry. He's just mixing them all together, just going however he feels like. A trader's going to fall down. He has not addressed this large amount of units in the front of the base. We still see that he's been chased away on the front. It's all on a Bagasha as well. These guys are just chasing, or rather, these girls are just chasing away all the units here. And now, up towards those farms, let's take a final look right now. I want to have a final look at Vortex's base and just see how beautiful it looks. Oh my god, look at that. That right there is a Japanese masterpiece. How good does that economy look? You could not ask for a better economy than that. That is just beautiful. I think he's also... Is that the tier 3? Has he got tier 3? He does too. He's got the Shogunate Castle that's come through. Actually, let's pull the UI in. Let's take a look at exactly how this is going down. But I can tell you right now, it doesn't feel like his opponent is very long for this world. There is a large mass of units in his base. He's got 3 military units to his name. It's a couple of crossbows. And it's only a matter of time until the Onabagati get in on top and say, what up? Because that's what they do. But there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you check out Vortex. I'll leave a link in the description to where you can watch him live. Over on Twitch, if you haven't already, make sure you go check out The Sultan's Ascend on Steam. I'll leave a link in the description to where you can go buy it. And most importantly, I hope you enjoyed this casted game.